says to me. I think you're very natural, right? I think we can all agree. You did a very good job, very natural. I think you're going to be doing this a lot. I think you have a gift to communicate and to speak. I think you did a great job at using your own story and I love the content. I mean, you touched one of the heart issues and you touched it well, which is sometimes we only touch it in the, are you willing to give up your big famous dream? But it's not the same ratio, obviously, but there is an idolatry sometimes of ministry and suffering and other things that, for example, you're living in the house built by a man that faced that. For example, Bickle's dream was to go be a medical missionary, and God deconstructed that and sat him here. You know, and if he hadn't have been obedient, that would have da-da-da-da-da-da. So I love that part. I love that you wove that into it, that it wasn't one-dimensional on that point. I thought I love the gestures, the hand motion, the everything else. You kept us engaged the whole time. A minor point on the front end would be keep the eye contact steady, because you had good eye contact, but then it was kind of a little bit. You opened. I was a little confused when you opened up because you said Mark 10, but you also said 3 passages. Again, this is a minor thing, but there's no way in a message you can work through 3 passages. So I wasn't quite sure if we're only in Mark 10 or the other. And the only other one is the obvious one is time management. You know, just because you got into your story and then went, oh wait a minute, almost all my time's gone because I did a story. So you just gotta pace yourself to know the amount of time you have. Good?
Yeah, good job, Jacob. I love your story. I've heard it a little bit before, and it's incredible just what the Lord has done. And I agree with Samuel. I think you're clearly very natural at it. You have great engagement with the room. You know, you kept us engaged the whole time and brought us into it. I would say with the time thing as well, I think even making that comment, then everyone maybe even subconsciously was like, oh, I wonder when it's going to end. Because you had kind of gone, hey, I'm going to keep going, you know, and so I would just watch that type of dictating the clock type of thing. I loved your phrase, it's not about money, it's about love, and just hitting that, and just so, because I was waiting for the punchline. I understood the premise, but I was kind of waiting for that hook, and then you finally gave it, and so I would encourage you to just draw that out more as you, I'm sure that you will teach, preach, speak, breathe this for the rest of your life, which is really exciting. So, great job, good message. Yes.
What often happens in here is we use little events to create big applications. So this isn't a comment about Jacob, but it's a general comment because I've faced it in a couple. Time management's actually a big deal, and here's why. Because sometimes when we're speaking, we're going, but there's the balance of respecting the boundaries put around us. Because when I face this at IIPU all the time. I'm at 2 minutes till the class is over, and and sometimes I go over a little bit, but you're going, man, I've got to land this plane because the issue is not just the content I need to give, the issue is the respect for your time and what you have to do next. And the reason I bring it up is actually not so much because of him, but because particularly in charismatic and Pentecostal environments, there's this idea that it's anointed if it goes long. And I'm not putting that on you. I want to be really clear. That Jacob's not, I'm so anointed, we're just going to whatever. And he actually was anointed. But the point is, that thing becomes it becomes going long because I'm annoyed. Sometimes it's like, actually the Lord might like us to respect, live within limits. You'll actually earn more from some of the people you interact with if they go, man, I wish you had gone 5 more minutes. Earns more than, when is this guy going to stop? You know, you've all been in the meeting where you're like, I thought we'd be at the Golden Corral at 12:15, and it's like 12:20, and you're sweating and bouncing around. But there's this, because sometimes we get funky in Pentecostal circles, and we got to go for it, and the Lord's like, no, just give the message, land the plane, because Bob actually does need to go home and serve his kids, and it's the midweek Wednesday night service, and I'm so glad you're anointed, but he's got to go to work at 5 a.m., and it might actually honor the Lord for you to da-da-da-da. So, not at Jacob's expense, but I wanted to throw that out there mainly because of the Pentecostal charismatic idea that, you know, if we can keep the worship going longer, God must be in it. You know, when I was a kid, sometimes the ideal was church when the worship went and the preacher never got to preach. Well, maybe, you know, but maybe. But then it becomes a goal to, can we keep the song going? Can we go up another key? Can we whatever? Like, that's not really God. The God, let's just hear the word, you know. So you got to balance all that out. Yeah, Bree didn't say it on the microphone, so I'm not going to comment. Who's next? Bree Quisson is the next person. But you are a natural communicator. That was
awesome.
You're going to be doing this a lot more.
Volunteers for going next.